Hey, Vic, you ready to talk about some sports?
Yeah, everybody's about to race out and go to the kitchen now, man, so I'm good.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time. Victor Allen's new sports. Brought to you by the Bald-Headed Black Man. Rub his head and make a wish. The ladies have nicknamed him Sexual Chocolate. It's the kind of sport you will love. Everybody, here's Vic. Yeah, sports, people.
What's up, man? What's up? Okay, tell me something, man. What was the #1 sporting event that caught your attention? You just hands down said, I can't get enough of it over the weekend. Nothing, right?
Nothing.
See, that's jacked up. That's why the sports doesn't get, because you have to be a partnership in this, man. You have to be able to go, man. You know what? I can't get enough of that sport.
You know, and I'm part of the whole boycott thing. Even though I sneak and watch like the sport reviews, you know, like the summaries, because you know I still have some of y'all talking about I boycotted. Well, you didn't watch no sports anyway.
right.
Like you give it up on something you didn't even do. Like if I have to give up something, I'll struggle and give up tofu.
Okay. All right. So let me just say this. All right. I'm staying away from those who are going to say, hey, let me find a reason to hate. I think the magic wand is when people actually can direct you to a position and say, you should not like them. And then you actually follow suit. So I'm going to stay away from that, man. I'm going to start mine off with something a little bit different, because I believe there's a world where sports will evolve. And I'm not saying it's going to go in the direction and be more popular in this. But I've been checking out this particular program that started, I think, somewhat close to 20 years ago. Didn't know it. And I guess the part that I was getting at is that I had to ask myself, would I watch a show that's considered either nerd spot or nerd sport or battle tech? And it's battle bots. Now, I don't know, Mario, if you have ever seen any of the commercials, if you ever watched it, but it's been in existence. It popped out about 1999, went away like at 2001, came back several years later, been picked up, and is gaining steam. Now, okay, here's my question. These are smart engineers who are putting together this equipment to go out and battle in the ring. Is that just a nerd sport? Is it a sport? Or is it doesn't qualify whatsoever for any? Don't use the word sport.
Well, it doesn't. To me, it doesn't have to be a sport in a traditional sense. As we move into the future, one day when you have sports being played by cyborgs or robots,
right,
we'll probably have the same thing. But it certainly is entertainment,
yeah,
and competition. So there you go. So it's entertainment, it's competition. So it's head to head. And
it's not just men.
And it's not just men.
And it's not age.
There's nerdy women.
Come on, man. Wait a minute. You see parents with their young kids. They could be 11, 12, 13. And the part that is, this thing costs. Because when you're getting destroyed, you're literally in a tournament where you have to keep coming back to battle the next. So there's some rip them up, tear them up, situations where it's costing you. So I just don't think this sport is at the part where people can really afford it and it becomes normalized that way. But I can tell you this. It got me. Now, does that say I'm a nerd? No. What it says is that I took for granted. It's shot here in L.A.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I'm going to give you just
that means we might get a chance to attend.
All right. So the journey, to give you guys an idea of the journey it takes, man, to get to the point where you get financing for this, because they got to do a lot to put this together. And they have this whole, it's like NASCAR. Once you're out there, you get destroyed, you go back in this pit and you're putting it together the best you can. So what you're seeing here is the #1 ranked right now this year BattleBot called Tombstone. He's with the blue wheels. He's got this blade, man. No matter who comes in there, it just wreaks havoc. So they have a tournament that's going on. So you'll see me periodically reporting on this. But Tombstone is no joke. He's just simple. And I think the blade itself may be somewhere around 75 pounds. So when you look at this, you think they're really small. They're not really small. I think there's a weight limit at 250 pounds. So let me give you a little background on this. BattleBots is an American robot combat television series. Competitors design and operate remote-controlled armed machines designed to fight in an arena combat elimination tournament. For 5 seasons, BattleBots aired on the American Comedy Central. Now, figure this out. It's
Comedy Central?
Thank you. That's what I said.
And we didn't even know.
Right. I couldn't relate with, so they were finding a spot for it. Okay. A 6-episode revival series premiered on ABC in 2015. Generally favorable reviews and ratings. Additionally, ABC renewed BattleBots for a 7th season, which premiered in 2016 in June. In February 2018, Discovery Channel and Science picked up the show for its 8th season, which began airing May 11, 2018. What's happening is it's gaining momentum. So to give you an idea of what turned out to be nerd, one of these battles hit YouTube, and I forgot who it was. I'm bad on this. I think it was Blacksmith and probably Tombstone, and they had 100 million views.
Wow, 100 million.
One battle now. That's not talking about, because if you guys want to watch it, it happens on Wednesdays. They start airing it, all the episodes around, I think about early afternoon, all the way up through 10 p.m. This is me just saying this, that it didn't matter that it was a sport. Is it better to just call it battle tech? Is it more appropriate? Yeah, I'm just asking you, man. I just want to see if you understand.
I like battle bots.
You like battle bots?
I think they're robots. They
right.
Battle. It's simple.
Right.
Catchy.
Right.
And it is what it is. Just make sure you have some bulletproof glass.
Right.
Around this.
They crack glass.
Because you would think that they would have projectiles flying off.
They do.
High velocity.
Yes, they do. And then they have, I won't give it all away, but they do have what they call time limit, 3-minute battles. But then they have what they call the house hammers and saws that pop up from the floor. So if you go over a certain area, while you're winning, you may be losing because the houses don't come in this area. So they have all this built in. If you want to check out a link to some of the names, I put a link there. It's battlebots.com. It has the robots. So when you see on the webpage, it'll take you straight to it. But I'm going to see if Mario has a favorite in name. I'll list some names and see if you could relate with what names that represents your style. Tombstone, Bronco, Bite Force, Ice Wave, Monsoon, Yeti, Minotaur, Blacksmith, Brutus, Endgame, Sawblade. We'll see how good you are.
Well, Minotaur, is Greek mythology with the head of a...
You like Minotaur?
Bull and in the body of a...
Right. Minotaur is the smallest, almost the smallest, who took Tombstone to task. They were like the battle that everyone wanted to see last year. It is smaller. So you picked a favorite, man. Pretty good. You did good. I mean, Minotaur is it's a Brazilian group. They come up here. They've been battling. Everybody's going after Tombstone. So I just want you guys to know, if you ever want to check this out, I'll give it battle tech. I'm not going to qualify it as a sport yet. Yeah, that's it, man. So, okay, got that out of the way. You'll see me reporting on that throughout the season because they're in the playoffs in the Sweet 16 now. All right, it's time to go to NFL, man, because, Mario's favorite place is when somebody steps up and speaks and they say something that's so prophetic and it makes you feel like that's the kind of guy that will be good on a Pax Stereo team. So I'm going to go with the NFL player whose voice, to me, was the voice of the week, and that's Earl Thomas, safety at the Seattle Seahawks. Sunday began with reports that multiple teams, including his opponent, the Dallas Cowboys, were interested in opening trade talks with Seattle Seahawks for Earl Thomas's service. It ended up with Thomas telling reporters that he doesn't plan to practice for the Seahawks if he doesn't feel like it. Mario, at that point, right there, without saying anything else, if somebody says, you work in the medical profession and you did work, and then saying, you know what? If I don't feel like coming to work, I'm not going to do it.
Well, I mean, there are those occupations where you determine, your worthiness for the combat. That's that's typical for.
I got you.
In some professions, that's standard.
Right.
You know, baseball with pitchers and all this kind of stuff.
You going there?
They decide what, and sometimes the people who are making the decisions, let's face it, they're not making it in your best interest. They're making it in their best interest. So this, to me, if you have the luxury of being able to control your world,
right,
then certainly I would be looking out for my best interests.
And let me just do this. See, Mario's on. We have to call Mario end game. He knows the end game. Here's the quote. He says, I need to make sure my body's 100% and I'm investing in myself. Also, if they were invested in me, I would be out there practicing, Thomas said, per the Seattle Times. But if I feel like I have anything, even if it's something small, if I got a headache, I'm not practicing. But I don't want that to be taken the wrong way. I know I'll get fined. This man is trying to get out. He's trying to get the hell out of Seattle. That's, to me, what he's doing.
Bravo.
And he said this mostly around the team he's been courting, the Cowboys.
Right. He just had a nice interception.
Right.
Picked it up. He has great hands.
Yeah.
Hands like a receiver.
The man he's at, look, the Legion of Boom is gone. Everybody's gone. He needs to get his up. He's from the Texas area, so he's trying to get out. And I think this is just his way of doing it. So, yeah, you got to leverage what you can. But he is good, man. He's around the ball all the time. All right. Now let's go over to the hottest topic. I'm going to let Mario sit back and I'm going to read these off, and you tell me which one you want to touch upon first. Because I just believe there's some certain ones in here, man, that, without being obvious, we can't say nothing bad about the LA Rams. They've been in power rankings for a week now. They have good defense. They good offense. Now, let's go to the other topic. Because Mario is a true, I'm not going to tell you which team, true fan on one of these teams. Gruden's Raiders are perfect. They're tied for the worst record. Belichick's Patriots limping loss to winless Lions. I don't care how injured some of the Patriots players are. It's hard to you lose against a winless team that really hasn't played. It
showed real weakness.
Yes, it did.
It unveiled there's a bunch of real weaknesses there.
Yeah. Or winless Pittsburgh Steelers as Le'Veon Bell now. Pittsburgh has decided to shop him. So he played his cards. Antonio Brown, is he following? And if that's the case, you're taking your 1-2 punch out of Pittsburgh. They're technically winless at this moment. I don't think they won it. I have to check. It's bad on me, you guys. My bad. At this point, do you think losing both those players, because all of a sudden Antonio Brown is frustrated, do you invest in Pittsburgh and say, hey, this is just the early season. They'll be back on top at the end?
Well, I think certain ones have more likely to improve. I think that Pittsburgh and New England will improve throughout the year and gel and get the most out of their situations because of good coaching, they tend to get the best out of the situation. So I don't think I don't think you'll see the Patriots look like that again this year.
Yeah, they got some players. They got some people who know the timing routes of Tom Brady, and it's just hard when you can't replace those. And Gronk already showing that he's still going to be Gronk.
They have trouble with who they're passing to getting separation.
I'm not worried about their offense. I just don't think their defense is up to par yet.
Their defense isn't up to par.
Yeah. But
I still expect them, at least based on the coaching and stuff and making adjustments, to do better. Right. Now, Buffalo, I don't know. Before this game, they look like the worst.
So what happened?
They beat Minnesota. That's what happened. They crushed them. So that makes I'm confused already this season because Buffalo looked like the worst team in the league for a minute there.
Right.
And now they beat Minnesota, who shows some cracks again.
Right.
So I don't know. And I don't know. Same thing, I don't know what to say about the Raiders. I think the Raiders, I'm willing to put them with the other group.
All right.
I expect them to look better through the year.
Right.
I do. I expect them to look better. But I don't know about Buffalo.
Right. Hey, look, I'm going to say this. Let me just say this. I put the records and standings there so you can compare. I always go, early games are dictated by a number of factors. The ones that tend to always show the truth is how many points you give up. Minnesota comes from being like the top defense comparable to Jacksonville last year and Philadelphia. They're giving up more points now than they're scoring. And their Case Keenum is not in there, of course. They got their new boy out of Washington, Cousins. So the issue to me is, did they take Buffalo for granted? It was going like this team, because they were dogging.
It's kind of easy to take it for granted.
But okay, is that then you're not a championship team, because then you're taking them for granted.
Well,
right?
I'm just saying they're obviously
right.
There's some flaws going around,
right?
And there's been a shift in the hierarchy.
Okay.
Where you now had the Miami Dolphins leading in their conference, so that's a whole shift that everybody.
Okay, you just hit the nail. You like Miami, man?
Well, I'm just saying they look how they are looking.
Right.
You know, and then the other things are, Pittsburgh doesn't. Well, let's just say.
Yeah.
Since what a week,
Right. Go on and say it, man.
It's a week. I don't know. I don't expect much from the AFC North. Kansas City's looking good.
Right.
So, that's where it looks to me, like Kansas City.
Right. Okay. I'm going to go back to the one that...
Miami, I guess.
How many games? You a Raiders fan?
No.
You a Rams fan?
No.
Chargers fan?
No.
Are you a junior college fan? Dude.
Which one?
Okay. You got to be... Okay.
Southwest.
Yeah, what's up?
West L.A.
What's up, man? Hey, West L.A. Hey, that's fam. Okay. All right. How many games can Gruden lose and everything stay cool? All right, he's 0-3 or 0-3. How many more games can he lose before they start going, okay, $100 million man?
I think they're going to give him time no matter what.
How many games can he lose? Can he go to 0 and what? Because, dude, I'm telling you, $100 million man, and you gave away Khalil Mack?
0-4.
One more game, right?
Yeah, he can't go too many O's.
Right.
You got to beat somebody.
You see, now you're doing it.
They got to beat somebody. No matter who you are, they're going to talk.
Right.
See? I don't care who you are. You can be Belichick.
If somebody gives you $100 million, are they saying that you're the exception? Oh, wait.
They're investing in you.
I want you to know what's happening here, Mario. I think it's like this. Buffalo was getting hit with, this is the worst performance of professionals on the field in the last couple of weeks. The coach is getting $100 million, probably cost the total amount of the salary of the team of Buffalo. And guess who has a better record? Buffalo.
It's one thing to lose, and it's one thing to lose in a fashion where you just look like you're incompetent.
Right.
That's a bigger deal. Some of these blowouts are ridiculous.
Right.
They're blowouts. How do you get a blowout?
Right. So here's what we're going to monitor. Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh. Buffalo may fall back down. We don't know. But we're doing the Gruden watch, right? So we're going to come back.
We are doing the Gruden watch because first of all, it's the Oakland Raiders.
Right.
So, for us here on the West Coast, that's a big damn deal anyway.
Thank you. Gruden watch right now.
The Rams look like the team that's going to the Super Bowl.
Their favorite power ranking right now is performance week by week.
Yeah,
they're up there. Philadelphia has to wait till they get their motor running.
Well,
with
the Rams
wins.
versus Philly, that's going to look like part of the.
It's a rematch. They played last year.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go over to the celebration where you always come back home, and you come back home after 5 years. See, I knew you was going to do that, man. You supposed to show love, bro. You come back home. Tiger Woods gets that monkey off his back. And I'm going to say, do you believe Jack Nicklaus is the words to listen to when he says, let me comment on this? You believe he has those type of impact when he says, let me tell you.
Well, he's certainly a credible figure.
Right. Okay. Now,
I don't know what was his comment.
His comment is, he first says his congratulations on winning the playoff finale. He's very happy for him and extremely proud of him. Tiger has worked very hard to get hit this place and has played very well all season. Now, this is the quote that Jack has said. I never dreamed Tiger Woods would come back and swing the way he has after surgery. I think you could argue he's swinging better than he has ever in his life. He has played fantastically. Now, that's coming from the guy right now that's still hailed as the Rushmore, Mount Rushmore. So, if he says he looks like he's swinging better, Tiger's 2 wins away from the all-time tour victories of 82. He's at 80. Do you see a comeback in full bloom, or this just one of those, I got here, but there's going to be a lull again?
Well, first of all, congratulations to Tiger for even doing this. He once again reaffirmed his greatness. Like any of us, he has to age.
Right.
If you're lucky.
Right.
And I said before that as he ages, typically for most people, you still have moments of greatness.
Right.
But on a consistent level, you see a decline.
Right.
So to me, this is one of those blips.
Okay.
Of greatness. While he continues to age, you celebrate it.
Right.
It's wonderful. But I don't think you can expect it to be a trend. And if he does turn it into a trend, God bless him.
He is, each week is playing better and better, from last year, because he tried to come in right after the surgery, which was hard. But I think that's him going, I can do this. And now he's consistently showing what he can do. Now, if he gets 83 or 84 tour victories, is he the greatest of all time?
Well, I think one would argue he's almost the greatest of all time already. I'm not a golf enthusiast. I don't know the history.
Right.
But certainly in terms of what he did for golf, even though admittedly he was around in a time of social media,
right,
television, and those things, and obviously
right,
that contributes to making golf
right
more of a known sport, more of a central figure. So.
Yeah, you watch it more because of him. They needed him, and he has that kind of impact. Okay, cool. We're gonna watch. I do believe he'll win a couple. I think they'll measure him when he wins one of the big four or two of the big four. The other tournaments he can win, but they're going to measure him on the Masters, the British, the Open, and so forth and so on. All right, I want to give some love because there's this battle between East Coast and West Coast. It just happened over the weekend. Watch this game, and it's they've been clashing about which state produces the best players: Texas, Florida, or Cali. Well, number 1 ranked in the nation, IMG Academy out of Bradenton, Florida, played Modern Day, number 3 over the weekend. And let me just say this. When you look at the size of the IMG players, the running back was like 6'3", 225.
This is high school?
High school, dude. He's doing what I'm doing. Anyway, when you're doing what I'm doing. When I looked at this team, the quarterback is like 6'4", 220, whatever. They ran for 350. It couldn't be stopped. Now, Modern Day knew how to outcoach them in schemes. But if you're just talking about watching a team that's in high school, this quarterback, I think his name is Trey. All I know is this. I just never seen somebody make a number 3 ranked team just run through them. I was going like, this is going to be a blowout. But Modern Day passing team knew how to overcome this. It takes longer to score on the ground most of the time than it is to pass. So I want to give props up. Now, does that mean now IMG Academy is going like we're coming in to take off that perch from Modern Day, who was number 1 in the nation last year? So number 3 is Modern Day, which will go up in rankings. But guess who the number 2 team is? St. John Bosco. St. John is Cali. So you got 2nd and 3rd ranked teams probably going to meet up as the nation best for the title. Want to give it up and say, I don't know if the East Coast can represent this time unless it gets thrown into whack. Meaning that one of the teams, Modern Day, St. John Bosco, when they meet, which more than likely they will because they're in the same area, there will be a launching of a new number 1. And will they retain it? And then the case may be, is West Coast holding the title? Because right now, we're the reigning champions in National Prep Football from last year. So Mario, when you saw that picture of IMG Academy, did you think he was college?
Yeah.
That's a big son of a... Oops, let me stop. So I just want to give out props, you guys. That's it. No more new sports for me. I'm done. I'm just going to take you out. It's been a good day, man. Gruden watches on all day, man. All day.
Peter Allen's new sports. His own unique fan base view of sports and a recurring segment of the Morning Cup with Mario show. You can check it out here every Monday. Written, produced by Victor Allen. Get to know him. Rub his head, make a wish. All part of the experience here at Pax Stereo TV. Yes. All right.